Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And so today, we got some updates on CM Punk. Most of the stuff that we're about to talk about is rumor and innuendo, so to speak. But this is some of the new stuff that's coming in. And I want to talk about it if it's true. So as we all know, since All Out, when Punk cleanly beat Dean Ambrose, a.k.a. Jon Moxley, clean in the middle of the ring and won the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, was attacked by the Elite. They busted down his locker and attacked him. Those are the facts, under like these wrestling journalists that are trying to report bullshit that isn't true. Those are the facts. As we all know, because of that, AEW, the following AEW Dynamite in Buffalo, New York, which I went to, by the way, Punk was not there and was stripped of the world title, which means that CM Punk is the uncrowned / real world champion because he never lost the damn title. I don't give a shit what anyone says. He's the real world champion. So, since then, he was suspended. A Steel was suspended. The Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and some other people that were trying to break it up got suspended. Those guys that were trying to break it up, their suspension was lifted after 1 week. But everyone else has not been mentioned or said about since this happened, right? And there's been stories going around, all this crap. Will Punk be fired? Will Punk never come back? Will his contract will be bought out? Well, that's kind of bullshit. And why is it bullshit? Because in a recent AEW Dynamite event in Philadelphia, there was actually a leaked merchandise store in the arena, or outside of the arena of where the where the ring is, or whatever, where those concession stands are. CM Punk t-shirts were there. The Young Bucks and Kenny Omega t-shirts were not there. None of the merchandise for them were there, but yet they had CM Punk t-shirts. Actually, they had the CM Punk t-shirts that I actually wanted that they don't sell online. Now, when I went to AEW in Buffalo, the first, Dynamite since All Out, they only had one CM Punk shirt there, and it wasn't that, that design one that they have, that they only sell at the arenas, that the blue, the black shirt with the, with the original design, the original CM Punk design from the white version, but in a black t-shirt, but it's got the blue and stuff like that instead. They actually had that in Philadelphia. Now, keep in mind, this is weeks after the scuffle. Now, it's one thing for them to have it the Wednesday, to have Punk merchandise the Wednesday after, All Out, because they probably still had the merchandise at that point brought in, because Punk was originally advertised to be in Buffalo. But now we're a couple weeks in, and yet they still have Punk t-shirts at the arenas. So this whole idea that his quote-unquote contract is being bought out is utter bullshit, at this time at least. But I personally don't think they're going to buy out his contract. I think that was all bullshit rumors and innuendo by the wrestling journalists, the biased journalists like Dave Meltzer and Sean blocks anybody who gives him criticism, Ross, constructive criticism, who have been reporting false bullshit for weeks about CM Punk that isn't true, just to spur the pot because of how biased they are towards Punk. You know, Dave Meltzer is in the Elite's back pocket, so he's reporting false information. Example, Paige. Claimed Paige was going to be signing with WWE, right? Claimed that because Triple H was around now and was head of creative or whatever, that he was going to get Paige frickin' re-signed and cleared to wrestle. That was bullshit, because guess what? She's in AEW now. You know what I mean there? Dave Meltzer doesn't know shit. 50 years of lies, ladies and gentlemen. 50 years of lies. He's been lying to you to sell his stupid newsletters and now his YouTube shit as well, but originally newsletters. 50 years, guys. Just innuendo bullshit, by the way. So that's the first tidbit, is that Punk is still on the roster as of right now. And I don't believe he's going to be moved anytime soon, because if they were going to buy out his contract, they would have been already doing that right now, if that was the case. And it's not. So that's a load of crap. They're still selling merchandise of CM Punk. His contract has not been bought out. He's not been fired, because CM Punk owns his name. He owns the trademark of his freaking name. Which means if his contract was bought out or he was outright fired, AEW could not sell his merchandise legally, because Punk has the trademark rights to the damn name that he comes out to. It's the same thing that happened with WWE. Once his contract expired, they couldn't sell merchandise of him anymore. Well, technically, his contract didn't even expire, because they did secretly fire him. WWE secretly fired Punk. Remember, Punk was fired on his wedding day, okay? And he still reportedly had like 6 months left at the time when he quit in January, okay, in late January. So we all know this is bullshit, because we've seen it with WWE. They secretly fired him, but they also took his merchandise off, okay? You know, anything that they had left over, they just put on clearance, you know, because they weren't re-releasing anything new, because they didn't have anything. They can't sell CM Punk merchandise anymore. They can't like re-release new merchandise, but they can try to like sell like the last remnants of what they have. But all these shirts, man, they're selling at the arenas. Like, WWE wasn't doing that. Once Punk quit WWE, they stopped selling his merchandise. They stopped selling his merchandise at the arena. You know, the only stuff they had was the stuff that were still online, you know, that they already had released or whatever. But no. But the t-shirts, the t-shirt that was in Buffalo, that was a new t-shirt. Nobody had that t-shirt. The t-shirt that was sold in Buffalo that I got for $35. That never was released on AEWshop.com. It was never released on AEWshop.com, and it has still not been released, because that was a shirt that was going to be a new shirt that was going to get released. They already had him unveiled at the arena because he was coming in booked as the champion. That was the original intent. So it's all bullshit, you know, this whole thing with Punk being fired or bought out. But getting to the main point of this video here, I got a little tidbit for you guys. That's going to prove to you guys if this is true. And I don't know if this is true, but if this is true, then it just shows you how many of these shady characters from the Elite are. So this is what I got. I got this sent to me. Someone, one of the insiders. And I don't know if this is true or not. But if it is, it just proves that the Elites are full of shit. So here's what I got. CM Punk was going to put over MJF at Grand Slam. Reports are, which again surprises me, because I thought the plan was for Full Gear. Maybe plans were changed, I don't know. But that was my understanding, was he was going to put him over at Full Gear because that was the next pay-per-view. But here's what it is. Reports are now saying that Tony Khan knew of CM Punk's injury and planned to do a match at Grand Slam. Now, this is quite interesting because the injury wasn't known. So if they knew about an injury, then why would you have Punk win the title? You know, if you knew the injury was severe, because so the reports are he has a torn tricep. He has a torn tricep. And speaking of which, this is a recent photo of CM Punk with a fan who took a picture with him, and he's wearing a brace. Now, maybe it's not a tricep, maybe it's just a broken arm, but I mean, this kind of still indicates possibly a tricep as well. But this was the most recent picture we have of CM Punk. This is from about a week ago, I think, or no, this is about like maybe 5 days ago. So that's the most recent picture we have of CM Punk since the All Out pay-per-view. So if they knew about the injury before the pay-per-view, that just doesn't add up to me. So I think there's a little kind of skirmish with some of this, but a lot of this does hold up with what has been going on. And I'll get to that later on with this, with reading this, because I haven't read it all yet to you guys. But so here's what it is. So CM Punk injured and planned to match at Grand Slam, where due to a run-in by Hangman Adam Page and an injured Punk, it would set up MJF for the win. Now, this does make sense because Hangman Adam Page and Punk have beef, and obviously on television as well they had beef, because Hangman, Punk, did a shoot promo on Hangman, and they kind of had to tie that up, the next week or whatever, what he was doing. So this kind of makes sense. Now, if Punk was injured, I'm thinking that this would have been not like the injury that he got at All Out. Allegedly, he got it at during the match, but I don't buy that. I think he may have gotten it during the skirmish. But that the reports are is he got it during the match against Dean Ambrose. So if that's the case, they probably would have, if it was a severe tricep injury, they couldn't have waited until Grand Slam. So there is a lot of kind of holes to this, because if they were waiting until Grand Slam with a tricep injury, that's unrealistic, because you can't really wrestle with a tricep, 2 weeks after. You can't hold on to a surgery for 2 weeks or whatever for a tricep injury or whatever. I mean, Cody, when he got the pec injury, the torn pec, the reason why he was able to wrestle was because it was 2 days before the event. And so he was able to tough it out for it. But then, of course, shortly after that, he had to get surgery on it. I don't know if they could have waited. I mean, maybe they could have waited 3 days. Punk could have waited until probably after Buffalo Dynamite, to put over MJF. But I doubt he would have been able to wait 2 weeks. So I'm thinking that when they're talking about an injury here, I think they might have been talking about possibly a kayfabe injury. But it does make sense that it would be Hangman, because again, it would turn Hangman heel, which is what people wanted him to do during the title match between Punk, because people were booing him anyways, and he was the worst drawing AEW World Champion in history. So, I mean, it made sense. So Adam Page and the Elite. And so now here's where we get foggy with this. Hangman and the Elite, Omega and the Bucks, strongly disagreed with Tony Khan and CM Punk. Now keep this in mind when he says this. He says, quote, Tony Khan and CM Punk. Now keep in mind, Tony Khan is the main boss of this company. He is the owner of this company. If he tells you to do something, you fucking do it. I don't give a damn if you're the EVPs. Tony Khan overrules you, buddy. So if this is true, then the Elite and Hangman are essentially what I've been saying for a couple weeks now. They are the AEW's version of the Clique because they're not listening to their boss. If the boss says to do something, you fucking do it. So if this is true, then fuck them. So this is why the media scrum happened where Punk went off script, stating that the EVPs could not manage a target. Or effing a target. Which, again, makes sense because Tony Khan was nodding his head when he was making these statements. Tony Khan agreed with Punk and overruled the EVPs because, again, he is the main boss. Supposedly, his decision is final. Well, guess what? Apparently, he didn't get that word to the EVPs, which is why they shouldn't be EVPs, if this is true. With Hangman not wanting to work with Punk so MJF could win, which would sell the real-life feud between Punk and Hangman. Again, makes sense because Hangman and Punk don't like each other. So, it could work as a good storyline, which absolutely makes sense, and I can understand why Tony Khan wanted to do this because of the way they have heat. Heat creates cash. Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels created cash despite hating each other. This is why Tony Khan wanted to do it. And it also gets MJF as the champion. MJF would be the champion right now, but the Elite and Hangman ruined that. You know, it makes sense. I mean, some of the stuff that there's probably needs to be a little more clarity with the injury thing because I don't think the what's it called? I don't think the tricep injury happened before the match. I think that either happened during the match or it happened during the scuffle. The brawl or whatever. It definitely didn't happen before. Maybe he was going to take time off to recover his foot better, but it seemed like he was working just fine, especially at All Out. But maybe that was the issue. I don't know. But point being is, MJF right now would be the world champion, according to this, if it hadn't been for the Elite and Hangman playing politics. But of course, everyone's attacking Punk, not these goddamn clickers that are just basically no better than what WWE's click did. But, still gonna make CM Punk out to be the bad guy, aren't you? You stupid marks. You stupid Elite fanboys. So a note on this is Hangman now has a contending spot for the AEW World Title, and that's mainly because he isn't suspended. And the reason why he isn't suspended, okay, because a lot of people are wondering why is he suspended. He wasn't involved in the media scuffle. He actually left early. He left early because he lost his match at All Out, and he wasn't going to be involved in the press conference segment. So Hangman decided to leave early, which probably was smart because I'm almost certain he would have been involved in the fight had he been there, which means he would have been suspended because everyone involved in that scuffle got suspended. even people that weren't necessarily involved in the violence that were trying to break everything up. They even got suspended for a week. So, in a way, it was probably better for him not to be there. But I am pissed that he's getting a world title match because this fucking shit involved him. He's not going to win. I mean, Moxley is going to beat him, whenever they decide to do it. I'm sure it's not going to be at Full Gear. It's going to probably be, in between, whenever the next Dynamite special event is. That's when they're going to have the title shot. Moxley will win. I still don't agree with Moxley winning the title. I think Daniel Bryan should have won it. I don't care if he's a transitional champion. Okay, I think Daniel should have won the title already, and he still hasn't. The guy literally freaking main evented WrestleMania, and you're not putting him in the world title hunt. I just don't get it. He should be booked better than Jon Moxley. Daniel Bryan is a bigger star than Jon Moxley. I hate to say this, but yes, he is. But yet, they put it on Moxley because they just are like, oh, well, it doesn't matter anyways because it's just going to be him, MJF's just going to take it anyways. But that's not until November. So you could still do some things before you get to, the feud with MJF. So that's my thing with that. Point being is CM Punk was correct. The backstage politics are unreal. And Punk was defending himself on his position with these assholes that are basically a clique. And it makes sense because Cody Rhodes, a lot of people are like, oh, well, Cody Rhodes, he only took the money. And the AEW wasn't giving him enough money. There was more than just that. There was a lot of backstage issues going on. There was rumors and reports about this. Didn't want to turn heel because they buried him, banished him to the Codyverse, and guess what? Now he's in WWE as a bigger star. Okay? They were holding him down. They are holding other people down. And they want you to forget about this shit because, again, they want to have power. Punk being as over as he was is the reason why these guys couldn't control Tony Khan. They were trying to control Tony Khan into doing it their way, and Punk being the star that he is wasn't going to allow it. Tony Khan, obviously, huge fan of Punk. I mean, that was the guy he wanted to sign from the beginning. Clearly there is a lot of bullshit going on with these guys, with Kenny Omega, with the Young Bucks, with Hangman. And it's only coming out of the limelight now. But once again, you got these stupid elite fanboys that believe these bullshitters. Okay? And I'm not trying to show shade against their wrestling abilities because I think they're good wrestlers. I think the Young Bucks are a great tag team. But I lost all respect for them when they did what they did here. And people need to get into Fantasyland or get out of Fantasyland and realize that these guys are dicks. Okay? They want it their way or the highway. They want it their way or the highway. They're holding people down. And also, there's also rumors going around, which again, this is a rumor. This whole thing is a rumor thing, though. MJF actually wants out of his contract because of the Elite and what they did. Now, of course, this is going to be just more rumor and innuendo, and MJF will deny it regardless because MJF is the best heel in the company right now. Actually, no, he's the best. He's the best heel in wrestling in general right now, like bar none. I mean, he lives with the kayfabe on Twitter, on freaking TV, in autograph signings. He does it everywhere. Okay, MJF is the dude, man. He's the man, man. He's the man right now. So I'm not gonna say that it's true. But that's the last of the information here that I got from this. So, like I said, if this stuff is true, and again, I don't claim to this being actually true. As a matter of fact, some of this stuff I do question, like the injury whole aspect of it, because again, Punk would have been injured during the match or during the brawl. He wasn't injured prior to the match, because that doesn't make any sense. And there's no way he would have been able to wait 2 weeks to put over MJF with a tricep injury. Yeah, guys, take this as what you will. I have been 100% on Team Punk's side on this, because a lot of the journalists have been reporting false information. That's how we got here. We got here because of guys like Dave Meltzer and Sean Roth Sapp reporting bullshit for months about CM Punk. That's how we got it, from these quote-unquote wrestling journalists that have been posting just total defamatory bullshit about Punk. The whole thing about Colt Cabana. First of all, a lot of people are like, what about the whole Colt Cabana thing? He shouldn't have talked about that. You know what I'll say about this right here? It's none of your goddamn business what happened between him and Colt Cabana. He never had to talk about any of the stuff about Colt Cabana, but everybody kept yapping and whining about how he took money from Colt, trying to make him an innocent victim, and he isn't. He's a grown-ass man, all right? And if Punk has the receipts for it, then you're shit out of luck, because he has the proof. But he didn't have to talk about any of that stuff to anybody. He doesn't. It's none of your business what happened between Colt and him. That was their business. All right? The only reason why he talked about it is because people kept bringing it up. People kept bringing it up every week. I was hearing the wrestling journalists post stupid articles about it all the time. About how they didn't like how he quote-unquote got him fired, which was not true. Colt Cabana did not get fired. But of course, it's, oh, well, Punk got him fired. Punk got him fired. No, he didn't. If Colt Cabana was a draw, which he isn't, if he was a draw, Tony Khan wouldn't even think any less of getting rid of him. But he isn't. And that's the reality of the situation. He's not a draw. Okay? So get out of your fantasy lands. Trying to say that this dude is a freaking, like, deserves the job or whatever. He doesn't deserve the job if he isn't drawing. Alright? He's lucky he's on the Ring of Honor contract. You know, at least they had the wherewithal to give him a Ring of Honor contract so they can at least start using him for something. That's the fact of the matter. You know, I'm sick of this whole, he keeps bringing up Colt Cabana. Bringing up Colt. Who gives a fuck? Colt Cabana has nothing to do with the issues. They just keep bringing it up because that's the only thing they have to make Punk look like a dick. That's why they're doing it. That's why people don't get it. They're bringing up something from 2014 that's irrelevant. They're bringing up something that is irrelevant. Has no bearing on anything here in 2022. But yet they bring it up because they want Punk to look like an asshole to everybody. And that's the facts of the matter. And if you don't believe that, then you're a sheep. You're a sheep to these stupid elite people that AEW does not need. Yes, I said it. I'll say it again. I've said it before. I'll say it again. AEW doesn't need the Young Bucks. They don't need Kenny Omega. I don't care that they're the founders. Cody left. Guess what? He was a founder too. People move on. People grow and people move on. Tony Khan has a contract deal with cable. Okay? He don't need them anymore. He needs the draws. He needs Punk. Kenny Omega was champion, 6 months, 7 months? What the hell did he do as champion? All right, was he drawing the money? Not better than Punk. Punk wasn't even champion for majority of the time. Didn't even get a long-ass title run. Okay? He wasn't drawing the money. Punk was drawing the money. That was what people were interested in. People were interested in Punk. All right, that All Out last year when he debuted, that's what they were selling on. They were selling on CM Punk, even though he wasn't the main event for the All Out from the year before that. They were selling it on CM Punk's big return. Okay? That's the fact of the matter is. It don't even matter. Okay? They got the Acclaim, who are more over than the Young Bucks right now. Okay? You got Keith Lee and his partner. You got freaking the Gun Club. You got freaking, what's it called? Young Gun. Oh yeah, you got FTR. The best tag team in their whole freaking division. Okay? That they held out. They wouldn't put him in the game. Yes, I know they're going to have a DLC of him, or whatever, of the game, of the AEW video game or whatever. But the fact of the matter is it shouldn't be a DLC. They should have been in the game to begin with. That's a fact. Okay? And they did that out of spite. They did that out of spite. They did that out of spite. Because they're jealous of FTR's success. That's why they were off TV for a while. Because they're jealous of their success. They're jealous of FTR's success. That's why they won't face them, because they don't want to put them over. They'll let FTR. They'll let the Young Bucks can beat FTR, but oh, God forbid, the Young Bucks can't return the favor for FTR. That's the fact of the matter. So yeah, again, CM Punk best in the world. I hope I can get that T-shirt. Because they sold it in Philadelphia. And they didn't sell it in Buffalo. They didn't sell that black with the Punk, symbol or whatever, original symbol with the blue and stuff. Or the red, white, and blue or whatever. They still didn't sell that in Buffalo. I'd like to see that shirt. I'd like to see them sell that shirt. But yeah, guys. That's my thing. That's my thoughts. Comment, rate. If we got any more other news coming out about CM Punk in the future, of whether he comes back or not whenever he's healed up. We still don't know the extension of the suspension. Supposedly the Young Bucks are returning soon, according to Matt Jackson's Instagram. But as of right now, we don't know how long they're suspended for. Supposedly the locker room is better now that those guys are not actually there. So there's that too, Tension didn't come from Punk, it came from them. It's been there. But that's it, guys. Comment, rate. If you'd like to hear my reviews, please subscribe. Hit the notification bells for all the latest hit that bell for all the latest contents. And I'm out of here. I am the Ultimate Goku Modern. Peace. Also, make sure, besides my YouTube channel, I do have a Twitch under the same name, SS Ultimate Goku, Instagram, SS Ultimate Goku, as well as my Discord server where we discuss about fictional media, TV shows, anime, cartoons, live action movies, animated movies, all that good stuff, discussions in the Discord server, and the link will be in the description box as well. And now, I'm out. Peace.